and welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. I'm delighted to have with us today Silvanus, the co-founder and CEO of UXCam, a market leader in software CX analytics. With a PhD in theoretical biophysics, he applies complex data modeling to help brands like Virgin Mobile UAE and Costa Coffee understand user behavior. Under his leadership, UXCam is currently pioneering AI-driven insights. Welcome, Silvanus. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Hi, Ayesha. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thanks for having me.
Indeed. Now, clearly, 2025-26 has been an era of massive AI adoption. And with the recent launch of Tara, your AI product analyst, how are you shifting the company's focus from providing raw data to providing automated, actionable answers for CX teams that are clearly looking for a lot of insights right now?
Yes, that's a very good question. So the power of AI is that you have basically an analyst at your fingertips at all times, right? And the challenge that teams have been facing until today is if you want to understand anyways from the customer experience, say you want to understand more insights about the onboarding journey, right? And your job is to improve the conversion rates of your onboarding. How do you do this right now in order to actually get insights that help you drive this? Nowadays, until today, you have multiple options, right? But it typically involves asking the engineering team or the analysts to set up custom events. Then you can go in and watch sessions. So you have to somehow find session replays that are relevant, and you have to know what you're looking for. Then you have to instrument it, and then it's going to take weeks of a month until you have an answer. Right. And this is the challenge with this is also you already need to know in advance what you need to instrument, right? Oftentimes you ask the wrong questions and you don't get the right answers, right? And this changes fundamentally in the age of AI, and especially with Tara, because Tara, at any given moment, she's just she has the context of all the things that your users have been doing in your app. So we basically automatically watch the sessions. She automatically analyzes the data. And at the moment that you have that you ask your question, she already has the answers because she watched thousands of sessions and user experiences of users in your onboarding flow, right? And she pretty much immediately she answers and she tells you, okay, in your onboarding flow, there's these four fundamental issues. Which one do you want to learn more about? It's like, okay, we have an issue. Let's look deeper into this issue with the forms. And then Tara will dig deeper. She will give you deep insights. She will link it to evidence and basically give you the answer when you need it, not in 4 weeks from now, not in 6 weeks from now, right now, right? And this really empowers you to make data-driven decisions in the here and now, and not guess and wait long time for answers. And I think this is really fundamentally changing the way that everyone will be doing product analytics in the future.
Sounds really fantastic. And you've described Tara as being very proactive and clearly a friend of CX managers in the onboarding process. Now, most analytical tools right now require us to know what to look for. How does Tara surface issues that a CX manager did not even know, what to look for?
Yes, this is one exactly. This is the unknown unknowns. Is one of the biggest problems for CX managers, for UX researchers, right? And we have solved this because Tara is basically picking user experiences every day, and she watches them basically. Like Tara, it's like imagine you have a colleague who watches hundreds of hours of session replays, analyzes all the data while you sleep, right? And then you can ask her anything that you need to know, right? And she has access to all this data, so there's no bias in the way she collects the data. She gathers the data, and you can ask it, right? And this is really the key. And then she doesn't just give you and say, okay, there was one user to whom this happened. She typically has hundreds of users where this happened, right? She can also give you quantitative answers on top of her research, right? It's like, okay, I watched 500 sessions where the user tried to fill in this form. In 75, this happened. In 33, this happened. Do you want to understand best practices, right? And then she tells you this is the issue. when trying to fill in this form, this button was hidden, because she sees everything, right? She doesn't just guess, but she sees exactly what the user is seeing, right? Like if the button is not visible, the UX writing is not correct, or there are some other like parts where you don't follow best practices today. She sees that, and she answers exactly how you can improve it, right? So she doesn't just stop at the level of, okay, your conversion from during the onboarding is 35%. Where you don't know, like, is this good? Is this bad? Right? My app is very specific. But she tells you instead, okay, out of the 100 sessions where this happens, in 20 sessions, this is happening, right? 5 users are experiencing this, and you can actually immediately understand actionable what you want to do and go deeper, right? And she doesn't stop there. She also then does quantitative analytics on top. So she can also tell you, okay, these are the conversion rates. This is how they changed. And then you imagine you're releasing your app version rather quickly after you find this. And then Tower tells you, okay, congrats, your conversion rate between these two screens or across your onboarding flow improved by X percentage points, right? So she then also, she proves to you and your team the impact that you had with your changes.
Seems like Tara really provides a lot of insights through deep diving into the data that the team's collecting. Now, there is a challenge that AI can sometimes be guesswork as well. How did your team build Tara to ensure that she only provides insights that are backed by actual visual session data?
This was indeed a challenge. So as you said, AI tends to hallucinate. So we optimized a lot the AI. So first of all, we built a judge in the pipeline. Like there is always an AI judge that looks at the evidence, and whatever answer Tara gives, we are assessing first if this is actually backed by evidence. So this is the one part of it. And the second part, which I think is equally important to build trust and to really validate the findings, is that we always pass session replays. So we don't just say this is happening, but you can see here are 10 session replays where the user is actually experiencing this, and you can go in and validate it yourself, right? So you watch the sessions, you can ping your teammates in there and can say, here, this is, like you can talk to the designers, developers, and say, here, look, in this session, is this problem? In this session, is this problem? So you have the evidence, and you don't have to blindly believe, right? And similarly, we are sharing also the quantitative data behind it. So everything that Tara shares, she has to back by evidence, and you can validate it, right? But right now, also, again, as I said, we have a judge. It's not right now, she's at a point where she doesn't hallucinate anymore, right? But it's still always better to have evidence, and we give it to you.
Of course. What is the single most important or surprising thing that Tara may have uncovered for a client that a human analyst could have missed for months?
The surprising thing that Tara uncovered is that how many problems there are actually that our users, our customers don't know about, right? Like if you're in any given, there are, I can give you a few examples where Tara, like there was one example where Tara discovered an issue in the onboarding flow, where the users had to fill in some forms, and there was a bug basically. And this is something that had not been discovered. This was fixed by our clients, and they improved the conversion rate by 4 percentage points. So massively, they saved them millions every year, because all the marketing spend actually translated into a significant higher number of users that converted after they did this change. But the fundamental thing is they just ask this question, and then Tara tells them 10 or 15 things, right? Things to look into, and then you can actually pick which ones you want to analyze, right? None of these issues were known to our clients fundamentally, right? I'm like, right now, this is still like our clients are basically finding the issue, fixing them, and move on. But I think the big surprise was how many usability issues there actually are that are going unnoticed, right? And how easy it is to address them if you know about them, if you have evidence, if you have session replays behind it, right? So as I said, I have countless evidence. We've been doing a lot of testing, and it's always surprising how many bugs, even in super mature apps, there still are, right? And how many, not just bugs, but also usability improvements, things that you don't see at first glance. There's some things that are obvious, right? I don't know, there's an error message showing because of a network timeout, or a button is hidden. There's some more obvious UX insights, but she's also discovering deeper insights around the usage, for instance, like where users are actually going wrong when they're trying to purchase something, when they're searching for something. She's also discovering higher level insights about how to improve the user journey. And this is something I found surprising, that she can actually go much deeper than just saying, here, there's a bug, right? This is super helpful, right? But she actually, like a human analyst, because she has so much data. She can really, and she's really smart, right? Because she's based on the latest model. So and the best UX principles. It's impressive what she can find, actually.
It all sounds wonderful. How can CX teams actually get started with UXCam and Tara AI?
It's actually very simple. It's like you just put in a few lines of code, and because we auto capture pretty much a session replay and all the micro interactions out of the box, you can go live within a week. Like the implementation is going to take a few hours. We also have an AI implementation now through an MCP, so it's pretty simple to integrate. And then you can go live and you don't have to learn, right? This is, as I just explained, like we go live and Tara starts analyzing, right? You don't actually have to learn, okay, how does the dashboard work? Where do I find this information, right? You just go in, you ask your questions, right? Tara answers them with evidence, right? So this is also one of the key things. It's not just saving time in setting up, but also saving time in learning, right? Because normally it's hard, like you have to understand, okay, this is how the funnel works. This is how this event is checked. This is like, you don't have to do any of that, right? You can just ask your questions. Like you have a conversation with somebody who knows your product inside out, who has access to all the analytics, and then you can trust the data, right? So this is so it really just takes a week to, not even a week to set up, and then another week to get the first insights and hit the ground running. So yeah, I can only recommend to try it out and see how awesome it is.
Certainly. Thank you, Silvanus. It's been a pleasure to have you join us today. And we really look forward to meeting you, the CXCam team, and Tara at the CX Live show in Dubai in April. Until then, stay safe.
Thank you, Ayesha. I'm looking forward to meeting you and everyone else at the conference as well.
Likewise. Bye for now.
Bye bye.